Hi, I'm Trina, and today we're going to look at a 2021 McLaren GT. One thing you're going to notice right away about the McLaren GT is it stays absolutely true to the McLaren fashion. Right away you'll notice the deep front lip, and in this case we have a nice piano black finish on the bottom half of the vehicle, and that's where you're going to get a lot of that aerodynamic. Coming around the front of the vehicle right away, we'll see the McLaren front end headlights, of course with that LED strip right across the front. With any GT vehicle, you sure hope that you're going to have some parking sensors. Coming around the side of the vehicle, we have a staggered wheel set. We have 20-inch in the front and 21 in the back. So this vehicle comes equipped with carbon ceramic brakes from factory, and you have your 20-inch rim in the front and a massive blacked out caliper. In my opinion, with these rims in particular, they're a little busy. However, it is a McLaren. It is made to make some noise on the street. And of course, we have our air vents in the front, which is going to aid in the braking and the cooling of the vehicle. Looking along the side of the vehicle, you have a considerable side mirror. They are tinted. I'm not sure if that was from factory, but it's a nice touch. It does have that nice piano black finish all along the bottom front and rear end and along both sides. A massive air duct, you know, about the size of my forearm. Sorry about the scrunchie. Going along the side, you have another cooling vent. And once more, these are 21-inch rims. They are staggered, and you have your carbon brakes and that nice ceramic finish, and another massive brake caliper. Coming around the back of the vehicle, I'm gonna keep talking about it because I really like it. This nice, clean piano black finish. Once more, I believe I see 2 parking sensors. So maybe right here is a bit of a cautionary area for everyone driving it. And then you have this stationed back wing above the McLaren emblem, as well as a LED straight light. A considerable size for the exhaust systems. We're gonna play around with the exhaust note later and see how it sounds. But I like how they're separated, and again, you have this mesh finish. It's not too busy. Some supercars, especially in the GT segment, can get a little busy or a little boring. So I do believe the McLaren kind of hit it right on the nail. So with the McLaren GT, it is competing against other vehicles like the Aston Martin, the Lexus LC, and Bentleys. Now it has something that's very unique in a Grand Tourer, which are the dihedral doors. Now, unlike most McLarens, this is just a button here and you lift it. Other McLarens are usually right about here. So we'll go ahead and lift it up. Now, we're gonna have a look at the engine bay. So one thing to note right away is with the McLaren GT, we can't see the engine. However, it does give us a little bit of trunk space. This is a really unique material. It's meant to capture heat. However, reviews have stated online that if you are going to be traveling on a long road, it does get considerably hot in here. So maybe keep your laptops in the front, or at least protect whatever's in here, because again, there's a massive engine under there. So again, we're going to talk about these dihedral doors. So for a GT with the segment that it's competing in, you're not going to see these kind of doors. Now I'm 5'4", I am wearing heels today. So we're just going to do like a nice little comparison about how massive these doors actually are. You know, I'm looking up with heels on. I'm going to say they're probably nearing around 6'5" or so. And if I was to put my body beside it, I can actually hide in here. So they're absolutely massive, and they're gorgeous, and they're quite light and easy to use. So before we go into this vehicle, I did want to touch on this absolutely fabulous carbon fiber bottom. So the frame of this vehicle is carbon fiber, and the total weight of this car, it is massive, but it's still pretty impressive. It's only 3,384 pounds. So looking at the inside of the McLaren GT, they have stayed once again true to their fashion with a very minimalist interior. So one thing I really like when car companies do this, or manufacturers I should say, is it's driver focused. So there's no noise over here. You know, there's a nice badge, you know, you got your cooling vents, you have a lovely red stitch throughout the Napa leather interior. But again, it is driver focused. So even the steering wheel, it doesn't have volume controls, it doesn't have your Bluetooth, it is driver focused. And of course you have your paddle shifters just below, and that is a really nice sound to hear. And looking at the infotainment, nothing you don't need. Navigation, most people have their phones. However, it is nice that it's built in. Your Bluetooth. With any supercar, you're gonna probably find that any climate control settings are gonna be within the vehicle's infotainment. There really isn't much room for anything else. They do prioritize what they're gonna put down here, which is launch control. So that's super cool. It is right at your fingertips. Not a traditional shift. You do just have the buttons here where you would hit drive, neutral, and reverse. I'm personally not a huge fan of this. I find it lacks in the vehicle's kind of overall character, but to each your own. It's a supercar. You can't complain about that when you're buying this. So with the cabin, it is a lot of high-end materials. You can definitely feel that you're in a supercar. It's a little tight in here. I'm not the biggest of humans, and I'm wearing heels. It was very difficult to get in. We can demonstrate that later. But if you want to change your seat around, it's not on the side, it's not on your door. It's actually tucked under the front lip of the passenger and driver seat. Oh, there we go. There's no rule to how I do this, or there's no real guidance. I'm really just trying to go forward, and I'm going up. But there is memory seats, so once you figure it out, just save it, because this is gonna be a little irritating. With the interior, it does complement the exterior with this nice piano black finish, the aluminum casing, you have your aluminum foot pedals. You do have a McLaren GT badge down here, which is super cool. I think you'd want to have that maybe a bit more visible. As a passenger, I didn't know it was there until I actually started playing with the seat, which brought me forward and I saw it. Also, there's a cup holder here that might hold a juice box or two. So when you're going into anything in the GT segment, again, you're not allowed to complain about cup holders, you're not allowed to complain about space, and you're not allowed to complain about ground clearance. I could touch the ground just leaning over. I'm gonna say it's probably half a foot, but again, this is this car. So take the win. So of course, everybody's favorite part of any car review is we're gonna test the exhaust note. So looking at the McLaren's frunk, the button is here on the door. It's always fun to look at frunks in supercars because you never know what you're gonna get. It's really not that bad. There's a giant blanket in here. However, if we pull that out, you can fit, you know, I would say a cooler in a gym bag, or at least one normal size carry-on and a little bag for luggage. Again, in this segment, we're not looking for space for storage. Thank you guys for tuning in. And if you're interested in purchasing the 612 horsepower Beast, you can check it out at Toronto Auto Brokers and the link below. And if you've enjoyed this video, please subscribe.